we are gonna do math. We have a test coming up, which y'all are totally ready for. I'm not worried about it. But you are gonna get 15A, and we're gonna treat that as a study guide or a practice test, and we're gonna work these together. I will go through the majority of them, but I'll do it quickly, so you'll need to pause or go back. And I will also send the final answers to this in an email later to make certain that you did it correctly, and that means you'll be ready for your test tomorrow, okay? So don't cheat on me. You know you're honest. And cheating does not help anybody. All right, so I'm looking at number 1. How about Mason? Mason has 4 days to write a 320-page book. Wow. Read or write? Write a 320-page book. If he wants to write the same number of pages each day, how many pages would Mason write? So I have 4 days, and my total is 320. So what am I going to do? Let's use our brain. I don't even have to write the problem down, but you can. 4 divided into 320. 4 goes into 32. Help me, help me. Well, 4 times 9 is what? 36, so that's too much. Okay, what's 4 times 8? 32. Bring down our 0, address our 0. He will have to write 80 pages every day for 4 days. That's a lot. When Mason has written 2/3 of the book, what fraction of the book will he still have left to do? Oh. Think about this. Okay, so we could say 2/3 of 320, right? What fraction of the book, though? 1/3. So when Mason has written 2/3 of the book, what fraction of the book will he still have left to write? One-third. 2/3 are already finished, so 1/3 would be what's remaining. Use the information given below to answer the problems 3 through 5. All right, so 3, 4, and 5 have to deal with 90 students voted for their favorite colors. So let's underline the word 90 and put it there. Then it says 34 voted for green, so I'm going to put 34 equals GR. And blue received 7 fewer votes than green. Really? Really? Okay. So 7 fewer votes. Would that be 34 minus 7? Sure it would. Okay. So why don't I just put 34 minus 7 equals blue. The remaining students voted for red. Cool. So this is what Miss Taylor did. Without having to do all the math, I'm just kind of breaking it down. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I have 90 students total. Of those 90 students, 34 chose green. 34 minus 7 chose blue. And what was left over was red. Oh, I can already see the smoke coming from your ears. You know what to do. So how many students chose blue as their favorite color? So we're going to take 34 minus 7. Yes, don't forget to borrow. 14 minus 7 is 7. Then I bring down my 2. So 27 students. 27 students voted for blue. Now, how many students chose red as their favorite color? Well, how can I figure that out? Well, how many total students were there? 90. Well, how many students voted for green? 34. How many students voted for blue? 27. Well, let's add those together. What's 7 plus 4? 11. Carry my 1. That's 1 plus 3 is 4, 5, 6. So that's 61 students had voted for green or blue. But the question is, how many students chose red as their favorite color? So what would I do? Come on, Lillian, I know you know. What would I do? Okay, I would take 61 and I would subtract it from the total amount of students, because the information tells us the remaining students voted for red. So I'm going to put minus 61. Boom. This is how I figured out how many had voted for blue or green. I subtract it from the total amount of 90, and then boom, 29 voted for red. Let's go to number 5. Which color received the fewest votes? I'm not going to give you the answer. I want you to go back and see if you can remember what you did with your work. All right, number 8. How many days equal 9 weeks? Well, how would I figure that out? There's 7 days in a week, and if I have 9 weeks, couldn't I just do 7 times 9? What is 7 times 9 there, Kellen? What's 7 times 9? Lydia, what is it? Yes, both of you are right. 63 days. Okay. Now number 7, they're trying to just kind of see if you can, I don't know, count and understand the whole and parts of a whole. Okay. The word reverberation. What fraction of the letters are R's? Well, let's count how many letters there are altogether. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Let's make certain Mr. Taylor's right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, so there's a total number of 13 letters in the word. Now let's go back and count how many R's. 1, 2, 3. Did you get more than 3? I'm looking at my work again. What fraction of the letters are the letter R? 3 out of 13. I guess you could say 3 out of 13 are the letter R. All right, so Deborah ran a 200-meter dash. 200 meters is about how many centimeters? How many centimeters for every meter? $200 meters is how many centimeters? Well, I would take 200 and I would multiply it by 100, because there's 100 centimeters, about 100 centimeters in every meter. So if I had 200 times 100, you know, you can offset those zeros, right? I hope my answer's right. I came up with 20,000 centimeters. Now it's gonna make me check my work to make sure I got it right. I'm not sure that I brought my book. All right. Yes, I got my book. Kidding me? Can't go anywhere without these books, right? Of course, this might not be the right book, but I want to make certain I am correct. I think I'm correct. I know I'm correct. So why am I checking myself? because I want to make certain I don't teach you wrong. There are 100 centimeters in every meter. Kilo or milli means 1,000, so we know that's not it, right? Come on, Miss Taylor. All right, I know I'm right. If I'm wrong, then I will change it and let you know in the email. All right, let's do number 9. 1/5 of an hour is how many minutes? Well, 1/5 of an hour. Now they tell us, excuse me, 1/5 of an hour, but they want the answer in minutes. So what we would do is we would put 1/5 times 60 over 1. So 1/5 of an hour, and an hour is the same as 60 minutes, right? So then we're going to multiply as normal. 1 times 60 is 60. 5 times 1 is 5. How many times does 5 go into 6? 1 time. I'm going to have 1 left over and bring down my 0. 5 goes into 10. Yes. 2 times. So my total 1/5 of an hour is 12 minutes. See how smart you are? Good job. Okay, what is the perimeter of this triangle? I'm not doing that. You know we're going to add all the sides. You better add 21, 29, and 35 correctly. And then you better also write millimeter, okay? And we'll leave it at that because I know you know how to do that. The length of AB is 33 millimeters. The length of AC is 71 millimeters. So what is the length of BC? Let's see what Miss Taylor's got happening here. Okay, is it shining through, isn't it? All right, what if I do this? A little better? Yeah. So if I know that AB is this, and I know the full portion is this, okay, how am I going to figure this missing part? Yes, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 33 from 71. You'll actually have to do the math part of it, but I want you to look at that, okay? Good. Now, 12 is computation, 13 computation. So you're minusing, adding, multiplying, dividing. Number 18 and 19 and 20 we'll do together, okay? They're missing numbers. They have variables. And the first one, number 18. Now, 12 through 17, I want you to go ahead and do. And you will check your work against what I emailed to you folks, okay? 4A, which means 4 times A, equals 240. So the opposite of multiplying, yes, would be dividing. So I'm going to set my problem up like this. And I am going to divide. 4 goes into 24 6 times, because 6 times 4 is 24. When I subtract, I have 0, goose egg, but I still have to address the 0 that's in my dividend. 4 goes into 0 0 times. So A is equal to 60. A is equal to 60. You see how Ms. Taylor did that? All right. Now, add, missing a variable F, and you get 890. Well, couldn't I add the 2 add-ins, 413 and 166? If I add them together and take that total, then I subtract it from 890. All right, so we're going to add these two together. So that's going to give us 9, 7, 5. Make certain my math is right. 9, 7, 5. so if I take the two add-ins and I go ahead and add them together because I don't want to subtract twice. So I'm going to take this number and then I'm going to subtract it from the sum or the answer. So the opposite of adding is subtracting. That is correct. But I don't want to have to subtract this and then subtract that. So I'll add them together. Now I subtract them. So then I would put 890 minus 579, and that is going to equal to my unknown variable right now, which is f. You do the math, see if you get it right. Okay? I know you can get it right. The last one. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. She's nuts. All right. So we're going to look at this and we're going to have to compare. Well, exponents, please excuse. There's no parentheses, but exponents is something that we need to look at. So what is 5 squared? It's not 5 times 2. It's 5 times 5. All right, so that's 25. Now, 25 times 2 is what? 50. Okay. Let's go over to our square root. What is the square root of 81? What number multiplied by itself gives us 81? 9, good. And what number, the square root of 16, what number times itself equals 16? 4. What's 9 times 4? 36. Dun, dun, dun. The alligator mouth wants the bigger number. Chomp, 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 chomp. Good. All right. Work on those computations. Check your work. And then you need to send a picture to me after it's graded. Okay?